I certainly hope this is an easy beef barley soup recipe that you might like to make in your own kitchen, but what I really wanted to do was have a discussion about food conflict and food comfort in my humble kitchen. And that can mean something different to all of us. So before I admit to a little bit of kitchen shame here and invite you into my humble kitchen, hey there, my name is Tanya. In this corner of the internet, I hope to help you live a midlife, a menopause that is unconfined. Unconfined by food rules, by diets, about what you think about yourself. And I want to do this through food, through mindful eating, through menopause nutrition and health tips that make sense. And that's no diet required. So if you'd like to have chats like this, I would love you to subscribe, stick around, and let's talk. Now, before I get to this recipe, I want to tell you that I have felt awkward showing meat on camera, on the internet, and Instagram stories for a long time. I have a family of meat eaters. They like to eat meat. I love more of a plant-based diet. I love animals, and yet I have a family of meat eaters. They are all on different degrees of eating meat. We all eat plant-based foods, but some of them like to have more meat than others. Who am I to say what is right for them and what is right for you? So rather than tell you this is what you should eat, this is where I thought I'd open up a discussion in my little kitchen about food in general, comfort food, but also the foods that we feel conflicted about. I don't know, do you think this is weird? It's just that these are questions I ask myself on a regular basis. I still have some conflicts about food, and I think when you live in this modern world, whether you're a diet person or a non-diet person, you're still an eater, and food can be conflicting. Let me know in the comments if this is something you want to talk about, and tell me if you feel conflicted about certain foods. But don't forget to let me know your comfort food, because I think at one time or another, we've all turned to food for comfort. I talked about this in my video about grieving and emotional eating a little while back. This beef barley soup is made with ground beef, so it's economical. I found a lot of recipes on the internet always use stewing beef. I use ground beef, and it's a request from one of my family members who finds this one of their comfort foods. Let's stop talking and make this soup. So I use about a pound of ground beef. Mine is medium here. I get it in a pan on about a medium heat and start to cook it down. You'll find that your beef will have some fat. Now I grab one big onion and some garlic. It's not lost on me that I say I love animals, yet I'm cooking meat in this video, and hence the discussion of conflict. I've chopped my onion up super fine. I like a lot of onion, so I'm going to add it to the cooking beef, and I'm going to make sure that I get it in there, stir it all up, let the onion start to soften. And then next, I'm going to add some carrot. Same thing, I'm going to stir it all up, make sure that this all softens together. I like to wait until the end to put in my garlic. I never want my garlic to burn. I am like a classic burner of garlic. 100%. So this is where I will add, I think I have more than 3 cloves of garlic in this cup, but this is where I add the garlic, and I let them all mix together just to blend the flavors. I haven't added any herbs and spices yet, and this is my base for my soup. I am adding in 1 teaspoon each of onion powder, thyme, and then a half teaspoon of basil. You could use whatever you like, and if you're using fresh, add it at the end. I was also brought up not to waste anything, so add a little bit of stock. You could add water to your food processor if you used it to chop, and I just try and get out all the little bits and put it back into the pot and cook them up. Now I'm going to transfer this all to my slow cooker. I don't have one of those fancy slow cookers where you could brown in there and then just add everything to the one pot. I could use the Instant Pot, but I'm still partial to my slow cooker. So we're going to set that all in there, and now I'm using some broth. Beef broth, vegetable broth, chicken broth. I know it's a beef soup, but I'm really not partial to the kind of broth that I use. I use what I have. I'm going to put in a couple of bay leaves for extra flavor. Again, you can put in whatever you like as far as what spices appeal to you. I'm going to cover my slow cooker, and I am going to set it for 4 hours. Now, I let it go for a little bit, get it heated up. You can see a bit of steam there. And then I'm going to add 1 diced potato. So because I'm adding barley, some people might think that this is a little quote-unquote carb heavy, but my family likes the taste of potato and barley together. And so we're going to let that soften up in the slow cooker for a while. I forgot to show you that I put 3/4 of a cup of barley into my crock pot when I was making this soup. I have it on the recipe on my blog, but I didn't put it here. Apparently the internet world is looking for less perfection and more humanness, so there you go, that's my humanness. I do think more humanness comes with the discussion of all things. Not all things are black and white, like the consumption of animal products. Yet this brings up a whole topic of social justice and how animals are treated and even how they are, let's use a gentle word, processed, but what we really mean is slaughtered for consumption. Now, I hope this didn't trigger anybody. I hope that the recipe also was something that you could use. It's really weird to combine these two topics in a YouTube video, but since it was on my mind, I wondered if it was on someone else's mind as well. And these are the things that we gather in the kitchen to talk about. The kitchen is a place to stimulate good conversation, conflicting conversation, and also just the all-round making of good comfort food. Until next time.